days into the most important election of our lives. 166. And I will tell you this, the key to winning this election, stay angry. And every day, Donald Trump gives us a reason to stay angry. We're going to cover more on my show tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM channel 127. And from now to the end of the month, SiriusXM is free. So just go to the SiriusXM website, click on Start Streaming. Hope you'll tune to my channel, 127, and tune into my show. We learned a few things today, which we're going to cover in detail, which are heartbreaking and angering at the same time. One is we learned that in the last week, 2.4 million more Americans filed for unemployment. Right now, there are approximately 39 million Americans who have filed for unemployment in the last 2 months. To give you some perspective, there are more Americans who filed for unemployment than the total population of Canada. Not exaggerating. There are about 37 million. We have 39 million unemployed people. That's what's going on. And what did we hear from today and yesterday from Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, and Donald Trump? They will not extend unemployment benefits past the end of July. So people are going to be on their own for state benefits. And states like Georgia and Florida, we're talking about the maximum they can get per week in the area of $300 a week. Good luck living on that. But the GOP and Trump do not care. Second thing we learned from a study at Columbia University is that if Donald Trump had acted 1 week earlier on social distancing, because he didn't put any into effect until March 16th, if he acted 1 week sooner, they estimate 36,000 lives would have been saved. 36,000. And if he had acted on March 1st, 2 weeks sooner, approximately 54,000 lives would have been saved of the 95,000 Americans who have died so far. Nearly 50%. But what was Trump doing in the days leading up to March 1st, this day where he would have done the right thing and call for national social distancing? Which, by the way, remind you, because the Trump supporters say, this is all the governors shutting down the economy. No. March 16th, you can go Google it. Donald Trump said, essentially, no groups of more than 10. The idea of stay home if you can. We don't want to get people sick. It's important not to have schools open. This is the whole list of things he went through. If he would have started that March 1st, though, we would have saved 54,000 lives, according to Columbia University. Yes, it's predictions and models. But what was Trump doing leading up to March 1st? It makes it clear he never would have done anything to impose social distancing because he did not believe the coronavirus was a threat. Literally, the night before March 1st, February 28th, is when Donald Trump infamously said the coronavirus is the Democrats' new hoax. Well, the threat of this virus, the new hoax, there were 0 Americans dead that night. In fact, he got a round of applause on February 28th at his rally saying, we've done such a great job. No one's died. Where are we now? Over 95,000 of our fellow Americans are dead. And by the time we come back from Memorial Day weekend, it will be over 100,000 Americans dead. And we have no idea how far this will go. We hope it gets contained, but as places reopen, you might see a spike. Let's hope not. This is where we are. Donald Trump continues to undermine social distancing, even though he says on one hand we should do it. The other hand is liberate Michigan, supporting those who are out there violating social distancing. And in fact, today he went to a Ford plant in Michigan. He refused to wear a mask. He refused to wear a mask. And what message does that send to his supporters? It tells them don't wear a mask either. You know what, Donald Trump, the message he is sending to the rest of us by not wearing a mask? He is saying, I don't care if your loved ones die. I don't care if your son or your daughter dies. I don't care if your mother or your father dies. I don't care if your grandparents die. I don't care if our nurses or first responders or paramedics die. All I care about is me. Me. Because that's Trump. All he cares about is him because he wants people to go out and start spending money so that he thinks he can get reelected. We have the highest unemployment in the history of this nation. Even during the Great Depression, because we were a much smaller country, only about 12 million Americans were unemployed. Now we're at 38 million. We've never, ever had this in our history. And according to the Congressional Research Service, which is nonpartisan, we will likely stay at a 12 or 13% unemployment rate through the end of the year. That is higher by a third than the highest point of the Great Recession from just 10 years ago. Trump has no answers. Trump's answers typically when things were going this bad for him, file for bankruptcy. But he can't do that. There's no bankruptcy for presidents. Again, November 3rd, that's our day where we get rid of Donald Trump. Great show today. Congresswoman Deb Haaland's going to join us from New Mexico. Nayyera Haq is going to join us, former State Department official. You see her all the time on MSNBC. She also hosts on SiriusXM. And Patton Oswalt, great comedian. I sat down with him, chatted over Zoom yesterday. Really funny. Plus, he hates Trump. We talked a lot about Trump. You're going to love it. So don't go. Again, SiriusXM is free from now to May 31st. So go to the website. Just click Start Streaming. Go to channel 127 Progress. Tune into my show, 6 to 9 p.m. tonight. And better yet, give me a call. Be a part of the conversation. Thanks for watching my mini preview of the Dino Budala Show.